We're here with Margaret Dunn, one of the organizers of the Ohio River Watershed Celebration, also a Stream Restoration Inc., a nonprofit group who does a lot of mine reclamation activity. This is the 6th year of the Ohio River Celebration. Tell me a little bit about how it's grown over the years.
Well, this is one of the most rewarding things I've done in my life. It's something that started out with Maggie Hall, DEP, and myself. We were just talking one day and said, you know, we need to have a cruise and we need to celebrate all the work that all the many watershed groups do. And as you know, most of them are volunteers that just commit so many hours to this effort. And so we just started asking people if they would support us, and we've grown. In 6 years, we've grown from 200 people attending to over 1,000, and it's just rewarding that people keep coming back and want to see us continue to grow to include more people in the watershed. And it's a celebration.
How important do you think watershed groups are to the great cleanup that has happened around the Pittsburgh area in western Pennsylvania over the last couple of years?
It couldn't have happened without the watershed groups, in my opinion, because with the watershed groups you get so much local support, and some of the systems involved with mine drainage cleanup, we need some operation and maintenance, and they're there to help us. And they plant our wetlands and our uplands, and they build wildlife habitat. And then this carries on. We have seen people that have moved away and come back just to see how the restoration effort is progressing. It's just a fabulous, it's a fabulous effort.
How important do you think building partnerships is to the success of watershed groups?
To me, it is the key. That's the way we do everything, because we want people to maintain the relationship with the watershed, not just go do a project and then leave. This is a long-term commitment, and when we have the partnership with industry, including the mining industry and the aggregate industry and the steel industry, when they're working with us and working side by side with the watershed groups, we can make a difference. We have. It's been demonstrated.
One of the things that you've done is to try to help educate people about the abandoned mine reclamation problem in Pennsylvania. You even published a book that I think you said just sold over or ordered over 6,000 copies. You distributed. Where'd you get the idea from that, and how do you think that's helping carry this message?
You know, when you work in partnerships, sometimes you forget who had the idea. I honestly don't know who had the idea. But Jennings Environmental Education Center, Will Taylor, really was instrumental in writing the book. And we received no government funding, no grants or anything for years. It was just funded by people interested in this. This book is now on 6 continents. It's called Accepting the Challenge, and it's a primer about the restoration efforts with abandoned mine lands. And so it is amazing to us that we have had people request this book from Venezuela, Brazil, Puerto Rico. It's just been tremendous, and we're thankful that we were able to do it.
You and a number of other people pioneered what's called passive treatment of abandoned mine drainage. How important was the development of that technology to what's happened today?
Passive treatment was in its infancy in 1988, 1994 when we first started. And this is something that uses materials that people even use at their home, like compost for their gardens and limestone in their driveways. And we have found ways to treat thousands of gallons. In fact, in the Slippery Rock watershed alone, we're treating over 750 million gallons of water a year, and we're doing it with about 16 passive treatment systems. And all of these systems have been put in with partnerships and have included students, the mining industry, volunteers, just about anyone you can think of.
Well, one of the interesting things is that out of that treatment system comes some useful things, and I think you're wearing one of those useful things right now. Could you tell us about the pendant that you're wearing and where it came from?
Well, interestingly enough, this is just by accident. When I was in school decades decades ago, I was taught that you could not take out manganese at a pH until you got around 9 or 10. But we found we could take it out passively after we removed the iron and the aluminum. And then when we took it out, we were talking to some potters, some who are my best friend, as a matter of fact, and she said, well, this is what we pay money to use in our pottery glazes. Can I have some? And from there, we're developing pottery glazes now, and it's just another use and just another creative idea which came about through Growing Greener and just the support we've gotten from the Commonwealth to be creative.
Well, I think you also, in addition to manganese, iron oxide is also turned out to be pretty useful.
Right. Bob Hedden and his Environ Oxide is using it for paint pigment, and you can see it being used in buildings and sidewalks in and around Pittsburgh. So it's just growing. It's growing.
Margaret, congratulations on another successful cruise. Next year will probably be even better. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.